Okay, it is 9:02. Sorry, I was just putting some more posts out there. Welcome. Good morning, Otto. It's good to see you. Fred Elf, not Fred Army, Fred Elf. Good to see you today. Oh, and I can hear myself. I have to get rid of the voice quickly. I can't hear my voice. There. I'm getting over a cold, so I definitely don't want to hear my voice today. Um, Nothing worse than starting the winter with a cold, but I guess it's the way it is. Flawless, hello, gorgeous, gorgeous boots you just made. Welcome everybody, and I think people will filter in. So we will get started. I'm excited for today. I'm like really excited for this one. This one's gonna be really cool. I think. Um, Let me just make sure. Yeah, looks like we're good. We're on YouTube. We're on Discord. We're on Decentraland. We're not on X because we don't need to be there. You guys, you're already here. Um, so we're gonna take it. We're gonna dive. We're gonna take a detour, a hard detour out of the Creator Hub this week because I so many people talk about emotes and they when I mentioned it, they were really interested in learning how to make emotes. And I do want us to slowly get into Blender. And making an emote is such a good way to go into Blender without all the craziness. It's very overwhelming. Like if you haven't done Blender before, I don't know. To me it's really intimidating. And I didn't start Blender modeling. I started Blender to make emotes. That was like my first foray into it. And then it actually helped me so much once I finally did go into Blender and start modeling stuff. I realized I already could do so much just because I had made emotes. But emotes are scary. I don't know about you guys, but emotes are scary, but they're so doable. So normally we do the Creator Hub. Today the basics you need to have to follow along is to have Blender downloaded. If you don't, that's okay. You can just go back and watch this again. And then what we're going to also need is the base model that they give you to work with through Decentraland for the emote. So let me get there real quick. I'm going to share Decentraland. All right, let's see. Display capture. Let's do that one. Okay, so in Decentraland, it's going to be, decentraland.org. This is the main website we all know and we love. Marketplaces here. And the best resource, maybe I should have even spoken about it earlier, but it's up here at the top, Learn. And this is where all of your documents are going to be for anything that you want to do. There's the create section. That's where you actually publish your stuff, but the Learn page, this is where you need to go in order to get the base rig. It's also where if you're going to make a wearable, that base mesh is in here. Everything pretty much that you need, like wearables and emotes, it's going to be in these creator docs. So go into there. Sure. And then for wearables and emotes, everything right here. I'm not going to talk too much about wearables, but the mesh is in there. But emotes, emotes overview. All right, let's see. So it's actually kind of hard to find it. Let's see. Okay, avatar rig. Here we go. Rig features. So what we're looking for, honestly, I think it could be right up at the top. It would be maybe easier. Oh, my computer's doing something weird. Rig features, creating emotes. Okay, so here it is. Wearables, emotes, creating emotes. And then this right here, the Blender rig, is what you have to download. You can't just go into Blender with like a avatar rig. It won't work. This rig is specific to Decentraland avatars because our Decentraland avatars, they kind of have stubby little arms compared to a actual real human. And so if you use like an external rig, I've seen people do that before and then they try to download theirs and it doesn't work. So make sure that you go into this one and that's going to get you your rig to start with. So once you're there, I am going to change over to Blender. Here we go. Here we go, guys. This is it. We're going into Blender. Um, we're gonna spend a lot of time there. Like I really want this class to get us there, but in a way that won't make us like scared. Because Blender is scary. So here we go. This is the way it's gonna start. And I think it's really important to look at what version that you have because I've gotten into trouble before. Like it's been super annoying when I have a different version than what the documentation is written for. That's gotten in my way before. So make sure that you know what version you're using. I'm using 4.4.3 and I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up to make sure that we're good to go. 1 second. Oh, I don't think this is recording. So hold on 1 second. Oh, let me fix this because it's not recording my screen. And let's see. But at least I discovered it before it was too late, right? Window capture, Blender. There's all sorts of weird settings with OBS. So, all right, I'm just gonna do it this way. Double check. Yeah. Okay. Give me about 10 seconds for the stream to catch up. And then I'll know if this works or not. Yeah. Okay. So here we are. This is usually what you'll see when you go into Blender. This is the default screen. We don't need these, so I'm gonna just move really quickly along because I want to make an emote in an hour. We'll see if we can. So I'm just gonna open up the rig. There's a few steps between downloading the rig and getting it opened up that if you guys have questions, you can reach out. I think, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. But here we go. The rig. Oh my gosh. What did I just do? I cut it in half. No, I didn't cut it in half. It's my screen. Oh, that's so weird. So the rig is going to show you the avatar. And there's a couple of things that you have to know about emotes to start that, I don't know, like just help you kind of know where the limitations are. Just like when I make a build, I want to know what is my height limit? What is my width limit? The same thing goes for an emote. How much emote can I make? Like, can I make, a 30-second emote? No. So I can only make a 10-second long emote. And in the world of emotes, these are measured by keyframes. And keyframes are these little dots that you see down here. I'm gonna call these things, I don't know, the official word is keyframes, but whatever, I'm just gonna call them dots. If I scroll in and out with the mouse wheel, I can look, and right here, if you download the newest version of this file, it automatically gives you 300 frames. Actually, 299, I think. In the old version, it didn't do that, but this is really helpful. So this is the maximum amount of frames that you can have for an emote. If I wanted to have, let's say I just wanted a really short one. If I wanted to make this less, I can come over here and shorten it. I can go 150 and all of a sudden my emote is way shorter. If I wanted to make it 50 frames long, I can make it even shorter. This is what I do to get started because if I'm going to be making an emote, I'm going to start slow and I'm going to create some movement and then I'm going to see what it looks like and I'm going to play it back over and over again. And, oh, my screen is being weird. I don't know why it does this. Okay, but you can kind of see it moving there. I think it's just visually like probably dying under all of this stress. But if I have to play this emote over and over and over again, I don't want to have to sit there and watch these empty frames at the end of the emote that I haven't done. So when I'm just starting out, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my emote only 50 frames long. I apologize if it's kind of looking weird. I think hopefully that looks okay. Okay, here we go. One thing that I have learned over making emotes, I don't know how many I've got published. I think 41 emotes that I have published for my own self. And then I've made many, many emotes, for other people, either commissioned or free or, just different things over time. So I think I've made over 60 emotes and then a bunch that I've never published. That's so weird. So I've learned, like, I've learned the hard way. I have redone emotes. Some emotes I've had to do them like 4 times because I've messed up so horribly. So the first thing that I'm going to do that I always do is look at this right here. This will make you or break you, folks. You can go into object mode, edit mode, which you don't really use that for emotes, and pose mode. I can't even tell you how many times. Go into pose mode. um Also, I should have started this out earlier. Isa is amazing. Isa has helped me get to where I'm at today with this. All credit goes to Isa. I'm a nobody. I know nothing. I am just like regurgitating what Isa has taught me. I really like Isa is the queen of emotes. If you have questions about emotes, she is your person. I'm gonna try to like help people, but like I gotta say it out there that like Isa, you know, she is the master. I'm I'm learning, but I love emotes, and so I just want to put that out there. That like the Isa, I can hear her words in my mind. Never edit in object mode. So this right here, I'm like traumatized. Like, okay, make sure you're in pose mode. I'm not going to cover emote 2.0 today because it's so darn complicated and complex. But this one will really haunt you if you go into making emotes with props and you're editing in object mode. You're gonna crash out, guys. It's no good. Pose mode. Always be in pose mode. You're gonna have to like toggle back and forth between these two. So object mode, I just click usually on one of these things, go into pose mode. But pose mode, pose mode, pose mode. I can't tell you that enough. All right, so a little bit about why I love emotes. Like I wanted to be an animator when I was a kid. I started animating my first film when I was 13. I had a VHS recorder. I would take a 1 second recording of a drawing that I did with the camcorder holding on my shoulder, and then I'd go switch the new one, and I'd put a new drawing out, and it was like a unicorn flying through the clouds. Needless to say, it did not work, but I freaking love animating. I love stop motion. Stop motion, I don't know, I've always been fascinated with. I have made stop motion videos. My longest is a 20-minute long stop motion video that I did the math, and I have about 10,000 frames of stop motion on that one. And I don't share it publicly. That's a part of me I just kind of keep to myself. But I love stop motion, and it helps to have some understanding of animating before you come in here, because you have to understand that each motion is like a tiny little bit of a frame. When I first started making emotes, I thought I was going to have to move the avatar one bit at a time, because in stop motion, that's what you do. You move the arm once, you take a picture. You move the arm, you take a picture. Move the arm, take a picture. The nice thing about emotes, actually, I'm like spoiled now. You don't have to do that. The computer does it all. Like it fills in all those frames. So it's actually so much easier than stop motion. If you've done stop motion before and you're coming into emotes, you're going to be like, wait, I don't have to put all of those frames in. This would be like 200 frames, and the computer just does it for me. So that is good to have that kind of like knowledge coming into it. It's basic stop motion, even if you go play with some clay, it's a good idea. But it's only going to get you so far. There's still a lot of ways to mess this up. Um, each one of these little circles is a part that you can move. Now, like if you zoom in here, you're going to be like lost in the sauce. And you're going to be like, I quit. This is too crazy. I don't know. Do I click on this? Do I click on the ball, the bone, this and this? To be honest, there's probably a way to hide this bone, and there's a way to hide the shape, but I want to keep that. But all we want, you guys, all we want are these circles. These are the points that we can move. So we don't, you do have to kind of just block all the rest of that out. You can see there's like 3 big ones for the torso, there's feet, there's knees, and then even when you get into the fingers, all of these are little pieces that you can move. Each one of these, I'm going to highlight all of it. If you drag on this, it'll highlight all of it. Each one of these has a keyframe down here. So this is kind of crazy because that's a lot of moving. Oh, that's a lot of moving parts. That's a mom joke. Ha ha ha. A lot of moving parts. Literally, there's a lot of moving parts. And so the first thing I do when I make an emote is I select all, and I want to set a keyframe for everything. Sorry, this is like being weird on my screen. I want each one of these little digits accounted for. And I'll explain why in a little bit. Like if you don't do this, you could be setting yourself up for like misery later. And so to set a keyframe, if I have it all highlighted, and you'll know it's highlighted because it's all white, you just hover your cursor over here and you hit I. And you can see down here, successfully added 1,301 keyframes. And so now if you look down here at your keyframes and you click on like the thigh, you'll see a keyframe. The wrist, you'll see a keyframe. The elbow, you'll see a keyframe. The torso, every one of these has a keyframe. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep moving. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe that. But basically, if you don't do that, and let's say that this is like a really important one down here by the hips. If I want to get rid of that, I click on it, X, and there's no keyframe there. And then later, I put this movement in, but I don't want it right here. I want it down there. Guess what's going to happen? Over here, at the beginning, where I have all my keyframes, it's weird. It's wonky, right? And I can have it play. I didn't want it to be like that. But because I didn't tell it anything else over here, it's reading this keyframe. So basically, like, you've got to tell it when to start. You've got to tell it, hey, no, I want this avatar to be standing at the beginning like this. And look, I have auto keyframes on, so it automatically put it in. I didn't have to do the eye. So again, like stop motion people, oh my gosh, look at how easy this is. So now it knows Canessa wants this to be standing right here, and by the time it gets here, it's going to turn. And so if I want to check on this, I just made a simple change. I hit play, and now look what it does. This is why we don't keep 300 keyframes to start, you guys, because if I was testing this emote and I just want to test the first 50 frames, I don't want to sit here and wait for it to get all the way to the end and then it changes. And sorry, it looks weird on my screen because my screen is being weird. So that's why I say, like, when you're just starting, just set it to 50. You're going to like slowly add up to it, but that way you can just be testing your emote really quickly without like looking at all that. All right, so that's weird. Weird AF. We don't want it to actually be like that. No, we don't want you to contort, mister. So we're going to just come down here. Get really close. I like to zoom way in. So zoom into your keyframes. I realize a lot of this, if you haven't done Blender before, you're going to have to learn the zoom in and out with your mouse. Hopefully you have a scroll wheel. I would not recommend Blender on a touchpad. Like, get a mouse or you're just a godly person and you're way more capable than me. So if I want to get rid of this, I hover over it. If you notice this orange color, that orange color means it's highlighted. If I just, sometimes what'll happen is I'll be like, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. If I'm just, maybe I like clicked on this one and I don't have anything highlighted and I go to delete the keyframes, nothing happens. So you've got to make sure that you've highlighted this, and then you X. Okay, so now the only keyframe on this whole thing is the starting pose, and that's it. It's running through the emote, but that's all the data that I've given it. Okay, now there's three important points to the body that are going to matter more than anything else, and that is the yellow hips and the feet. And if you'll notice, there's two parts of the feet. There's this black or blue box. I don't even know what that is. I don't even care. I never use it. I don't use the triangles. This is probably like, oh, come on, those are important. Those have purposes. I don't use them ever. These are the toes. We don't really use those. But this right here, these guys matter. So like if you want to lift your avatar up, let's say you want to lift them up in the air. You want them like, I have some emotes where they're riding a broomstick. And if I click like his torso and I want him up here, when you stretch him, he's just gonna stretch. It's like Elastigirl from Incredibles, right? So that's not gonna work. If you grab like the knee, oh my gosh. Well, see, okay, that's the knee. That's what that blue thing does. We don't need that. Let's say you grab, I don't know, the shoulder and try to lift him by the shoulder. Nothing happens. So I'm trying to undo that. Oh, wait, it undid it. Okay, so if you want to actually move the avatar around, there is this thing at the bottom, which you could use also, but sometimes you want to use, like, you want to just move them bits and pieces at a time. So the most important parts of your avatar are the feet. So I don't know if you can see that. I highlighted this foot. I'm going to hold the shift key down and grab that one. And now I'm going to hold the shift key down and grab the square. Now those are the parts that can actually move your avatar. So if you're going to like make some drastic, movements, like I've got one where they're riding a broomstick up above, that's what you would want to do. If you only grab the hip, the torso, oh yeah, you're going to break. That will break that'll break the armature quite a bit. I've tried to mess with that, and it just breaks it. So I'm just gonna check our stream. Yeah, we're good. Good. So that's where we start. Those are kind of like the important things. Knowing your keyframes, like how long the emote is going to be, being able to change that, being in pose mode, and then knowing like what parts you're going to change. So for this emote today, sorry, I don't know if the screen is weird for you guys, but every time I like click and move, I have to readjust. So for today, we're going to make the CBD slide or the CBD shuffle. We're going to make a little dance. I love going on YouTube and TikTok and seeing the dances. I'm heavily influenced by my Fortnite emotes that I show my maturity by emoting on 7-year-olds after I wipe them out and emote dance moves on them. Or quite possibly they're the ones emoting on me, but it does definitely give me a lot of inspiration for dances. So the one today, I'm going to be moving the feet around in a shuffle. I think it's important when you're looking at different dance moves to find out like what is copyrighted and what isn't. Dance moves that are choreographed by a specific person, a choreographer, are copyrighted. You can't take those. You can't it's like taking somebody's song. You can't take that move. You can take bits and pieces, like inspiration, kind of like a sound sample, but I would caution you to always check what you're taking first. So that would be like Sabrina Carpenter. Her dance moves in her dance video were created by a specific choreographer, and I can't use those. But if you go on to TikTok and you're looking at dance trends, and those are like dances that TikTokers made up, those are more open for for use. But still, I don't know. Like I wouldn't take them. I would take parts of them. Obviously, I've already done that in the first sip emote, but then I've choreographed them into my own, like, changing it up enough that you're not taking the original emote. So for this one, I'm gonna be moving the feet around. So I'm gonna go down here. Feet movements scare me, which is why I've forced myself to do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is figure out like what pose I want them to start in. And I think I'm gonna move that one of these forward. I want them to be like at the same, roughly like lining them up. And then I'm going to pivot them. Now the foot has like an insta pivot right in the middle of it, which is kind of good sometimes, but kind of annoying other times. So not as annoying as my screen. Okay, so I'm gonna move it there. Actually, the feet are really fun to work with. I don't, it's so weird that I think that. Um, but they're pretty easy to mess with. I think just compared to stop motion, like I've had so many characters fall down because you have to have their feet planted right. So this is just like so easy. You're like, oh, I could be so lazy. One thing that I do not like, and I see it in my emotes. I do not like when this leg locks. Um, it does a weird thing, and I see it in my emotes, and I see it in other people's emotes. It's a weird. It makes this jerky clip. Uh, that I, you'll notice like it does it there. See how it goes from like standing to like boop forward. It's not seamless. It's rather like abrupt. So in my first emotes, I wasn't aware of it as much. And now I always try to keep a bend in my legs. And then especially on this one, because I know that I'm going to extend this leg out. It's going to do that. And I have to like come back and override it. All right. So there they are. They got their feet in place. And this is how the starting position is going to be. Actually, I'm going to like, I'm trying to make all my emotes a little bit more fluid. And I'm going to start that by like moving the arms around a little bit. This is the shoulder, obviously. The I'm sure you guys remember like 8th grade science, all of the joints of the body. I literally used to teach it, so I'm like, oh, okay, this is like great. So you have the ball socket up here, right? The ball joint of the shoulder is really flexible. Like if you move your own shoulder, you'll see it can move quite a ways. Whereas this is more like a scissor joint. You can only move it so far. And like if you're gonna move it like that, bro had like a bad skateboarding accident. So you don't want to ever make it so crazy that it's hyperextended unless you're some kind of like contortionist. So always be aware of like how far it goes. Also something I realized in some of my emotes, like, yes, you can make, oh, sorry, my screen is being so weird. You can make this elbow or the shoulder go all the way up, but it looks horribly distorted. My crowd surfing emote, I really notice it on, and I should go back. Oh, it's so weird. I should go back and fix it. Sorry, I don't know why it's being weird like that. There we go. All right, so like there's a little bit of like movement to those arms. They're not super hyper stiff. We're gonna fix them later. We're gonna definitely move them more. But at least now we have a good place to start. So finally, I'm going to move this keyframe. Something that's really important when you're making a dance move, which is different than a pose, because a dance move has a beat. Like maybe you're listening to Gavin, it's 180 BPM, or you're listening to like trance and it's 140, or you're listening to like jazz and it's 80 BPM. But like you gotta know what that BPM is, because on some of my emotes, I have it like figured it out, and I've just been like, oh, I don't know, I'll just put the keyframe here, and you can tell it's not to the tune of the music. Or sometimes like with the first sip emote, I just had to. I just like I couldn't fit the frames in, and maybe it's a TikTok dance that she's not really good at, and so like she's not 100% on her frames. Like this isn't Dance Moms, not Abby Lee Miller. But you should find out like what is your beat going to be so that you can keep things predictable. And once you have that, I go in and over the keyframe, just hit M. That's going to mark your spot. And I'm going to go to like right here, I think just 15 frames. And you can move this later, but 15 frames. And then that is where my keyframe is going to be. So it's going to be like, let's see what it looks like. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, so it's like, that is where your keyframes should be. That is where the music is. Sorry, I'm so silly. But it will help you so much just by being able to mark those, especially if your keyframe is like every 12 beats or every 12 frames. Then, like who can do math over like, 12 plus 12 plus 12? Like, no, we got it. This is so much easier. All right, so that's my first frame. This is my second. And so on the second frame, I want to move these feet. I gotta like move slow because this is just being funny. All right, so I'm gonna move these. This is a shuffle where one foot is going to be off to the side. And I can lift this up. And I'm going to put a little lift to it. But see how the foot, it pivots from the center. I think there's probably a quick and easy. Actually, yeah, these guys, this is what this is for. But I'm not going to mess with that. So I'm going to do it like that. And I don't have to put the keyframes in. They already are there instantly. So there's my motion. Boom, boom. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm gonna block out like what I want the dance basically to look like first, and then I'm gonna come in and tweak it. And I think it was Oddjob or Issa. Sorry, I don't remember. I think who said like you start with the big movements first, like the hips. You want to do the biggest movements. Obviously, I didn't take their advice and I'm doing these. So I want the foot to go out and then come back in. Now I could sit there and animate and try to get it back, but I don't got time for that. So I'm just going to highlight both of these. Left click, right click, copy those frames. And then over here, I'm going to paste them. So now I've got my boom, 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 boom. Look at how easy that is, you guys. Like emoting, animating, it's actually way easier than I think people realize. All right. So now this foot is going to lift off the ground. So this guy, we're going to go to the next spot, 45, not BPM, 45 frame 45. We're going to go, this is like extra challenging when I can't see where it's moving. We're going to go there, and then we're going to move this guy also, but now this one is going to lift off. There we go. Now let's see what that looks like. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so we need to see how it like, you can see that snap, like there. There. A really important thing you got to do in your emotes. You got to loop them. I don't want to, I literally do not buy emotes that aren't looped. They might be the coolest emote in the world, but if it doesn't just play continuously, I'm not going to use it. I don't want to emote once and then stand there. Like it has to loop. And so it also has to look good. And so sometimes you can see that if somebody hasn't looped it right, it has this funky, like you can tell where their emote starts and stops. And I like making sure like I'm not good at it, but I want to make sure that my emotes like don't do that. I'm trying to make them better. So what I you always have to do is remember that whatever your beginning keyframe is, that is what it should end on. But since I've got every 15 frames, I need to put another one here at M, and then I need to make this go to 55. So this is how I make an emote. I just slowly make it bigger so that I never have to waste time like watching empty frames. So you'll see like it just kind of slowly grows. Oops, I didn't tell you what I was doing there. So I'm copying that original frame and I'm pasting it here. Did that work? No, I didn't do my math right. 60, I'm sorry. All right, so since I did it wrong and I want to put it here, I can just drag that guy. I could just drag the emote. Now it should be seamless. It doesn't look that good yet. Okay, what did I do? I did something wrong. See how it's not doing that? Which is great, because now I can show you what I did. I see this foot moving, but the one on the right stops. So you can tell that when I put the keyframes there, I only added the keyframes for this foot. And that is why at the beginning we added keyframes for every part of the body, because this is what happens if you don't add keyframes to something. The blender is just going to think, okay, she just wants it like this. So what I can do, because I want it to be this, I just make sure I'm clicking on the foot, click down here to select it, right click, copy, go over here. This is so weird. Paste. And now it should be seamless, where you don't see a break. It's not great animation. It's like nobody would be doing this dance, but there's no break. It's just dun, 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 dun. Okay, so there you go, guys. Like literally, I got a dance. If you could dance like this and only move your legs, that would be awesome. But we don't want to just move our legs. We want to move our body. And so I'm going to look at like where would the most logical place for the torso to be when this foot is coming up? And I think that it would be to the side. So I'm gonna grab this yellow box. That yellow box is that's your money spot. Like that is gonna move. See how that moves the whole body? And if I grab the one above it, which is the torso, it moves everything above that. If I move each one of these, it's kind of different. One thing to keep in mind is that like humans, we have a rib cage right here. I don't sit there and like twirl around the top of my rib cage. I have ribs that doesn't let me do that. But right here, this is a good natural pivot point. But make sure that you're moving the body like in a natural way that doesn't look all funky. All right, so I'm gonna make it like this. So, or actually, maybe it would be this way. That's where like a reference video is a really good idea. So when the feet are together, I want the avatar to be straight forward. So I'm gonna copy this one. Done, done. Okay, so right there, I want it to come back. And then when he goes that way, I want him to lean like that. Not too crazy. All right. And then I want him to come back to center, which is that one that I've gotten here. I'm just going to check. Let's see. Hopefully all is well. Okay. So there we go. Let's see. Oh, this screen is so weird. Hold on. It's like all right. Ding, 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 ding. So you can see there's a little bit more movement to the whole body. Actually, there's like something weird I don't like. Look at how it doesn't stop right there, right there. What is going on with that? Or is it so left, right? I guess it's okay. There's just like no pause there. Um, all right, so let's bring some more movement in to to the body. So when he's leaning this way, I think this arm would go back. Like elbow's gonna go like that. This arm is gonna probably go out because he's catching his balance. He's cool, but he's doing the shuffle. I think subtle, like tiny little movements are so important. One thing to also watch out for is this right here is a no-no. What I just did, this will prevent you, like if I publish this, they probably would tell me, no, you can't publish this. Because right now the hand is clipping with the torso. So you want to make sure, unless he's like putting his hands in his pockets and you're supposed to have it like that, don't do that. I've had them tell me no, even when it's like, dude, they're running their hand through their hair. Like when you run your hand through your hand is going to disappear. So be really careful. Also, like when the movement occurs, it might clip through the torso and you don't even see it. Um, so there, okay, that's leaning to that side. If he's leaning forward, his arms are probably going to just chillax, um, like that. Now I have this song, like this is definitely the weekend song popular that I'm inspoing this from. And so like when I'm emo creating, I can't listen to music. I've tried before, like listening to music. I can't. Like whatever song that it is that I'm seeing with this emote, like that has to be it. And then I'm playing that song in my head, like in slow motion. And yes, I will sing it. Da, da, ding, ding, popular. Because I gotta feel like, I mean, I really do have to feel like the music. Like, what would this bro be doing while he's like dancing? He's gonna be like maybe other people could listen to music while they make this, but I can only hear what I'm emoting. So that one I'm going to try to change. I don't want the same motions like every time because it's going to feel stiff. I want to like make sure that it's, like if the arms go to the exact same place every time, they're going to be like, "Oh, somebody learned how to copy and paste keyframes." Like, okay, that's easy. And so you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that they see the difference. All right. And then the arms, I have to make sure that they match this first frame. So I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to click shoulder, hold down the shift, grab both of those, grab the elbow, and then come down here, left click, right click, copy, and then come over here, paste. Oh, this thing is so weird. Paste. Okay, and now we should have a dance. Oh, but look at what he's doing. You can tell. You can tell where the dance starts and stops because he kind of goes right here to this default position and that's what I don't want. So I'm going to like I don't know, just do that maybe with one hand and then put it over here. Okay. So, it's technically a dance. um you'll notice like definitely stiff. Um, there's some parts to the body that I'm learning that like the more you use them, the more you can really get like a fluid motion. And I think that like I can only speak for myself, but I used to overlook them. I didn't realize how important they were. And that's the knees and the hip. So like if you want to okay, this bone is so funny. If you want to make anything dirty and sexy and spicy, ladies, gents, that is oh, I should speak. That is where the action happens. I have a feeling I'm not telling you anything new, but that right there, if you just want to make an emo of like boom, 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 the junk in the trunk, that's the one. So I, I actually had to like tone down the bull riding emo that I made. Like I could have made that um so X-rated. Just that one hip movement. Also, the knees are not quite so spicy, but these now be careful. These things are kind of dangerous. They will they have a tendency to really mess up like your rig. And even now when I play around with them, they are like really cool, but they totally can screw up your rig really fast. Um, so if I'm down here and I don't have any keyframes, I'm like, all right, where do I like I mean, we know that we're on 15, 30, 45, 60. But if I'm not sure where I am, I always just like click on this, the middle one because that kind of grounds me. And a lot of times what I used to do is just put in a keyframe where my cursor is, just some rando part, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, I didn't want that there. I wanted that over here." So, you just move it. But the more you make emotes, the more you'll be aware. You have to know where this is. That's 100%. Like that's where you'll mess up your emotes by not knowing where that is. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get myself in the right spot. And now I'm going to look at my legs because you can see I mean, this is probably what I dance like in real life. Like my knees are just like, brr, like, uh, yeah, that's totally what I look like in the real in real life. When I danced with Isa and Atravanada in Argentina, they're both Brazilian. I realized like I can't hold a candle to the Brazilian women. Like I can't. I forfeit. But I'll try. For the sake of this, I'm gonna try. So to make this look less like weird, this is where you have to actually use a different command, and you want to highlight this knee ball, and you want to hit G because G will drag it. This is where you can get in a lot of trouble. Like if I woo 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 that you can yeah see like now my knee ball is not even there. So be really careful. Tiny movements, tiny movements. Um, but the knee, like, oh my gosh, imagine a dislocated knee. The knee has to point the direction that your foot points, right? Like it should. That's what is normal. So this looks way normal than what I just had it. So again, here, my foot is pointing out that way. And I want my knee to match that. So we don't want any torn meniscuses here. Okay. So, okay, now he looks like a dancing leprechaun. I guess a little bit of twerk is okay. Torque, not twerk. All right. So, facing to the middle, out. Now on the next one, you can see the feet go back in, but the knees stay there. So the same thing. You've got to go click your knee balls, click the first frame, copy, paste. Okay. Takes it a second to catch up. Now you've got that. You've got a much more natural motion. And we'll compare it to like this part we haven't done that to, so you can see this is normal, this is not. This is normal, this is not. All right, so since we have this one copied, I'm just going to throw it at the very end just to save time. Sometimes like just like learning where to put those frames, you just super helpful, super time saving. Um, okay, make sure I grab the right one. Gonna pull that over. Now this guy, I think this time this one's gonna be a little further. This guy's just gonna be a tiny bit. And it might be a little over exaggerated. Like, I kind of feel like it is, but um like sometimes with emotes you should over exaggerate it than like what a human motion would do because it's so subtle, and then once you get it on the Decentraland avatar it's going to look totally different. um and then okay, like this guy is super stiff, right? He's like a he's like trying to learn how to dance, so I might just do a little bit of like, yeah, he's got some curve in there. Oh, I can't see my mouse. Oh gosh, it's so weird. So, little bit of curve, and then I turn them back. And sometimes I like just leaving my mistakes in there because, like humans dance. They're like humans, we make mistakes. But this last frame, I don't want to just move it. I like for me, I have to go back and get this one and put it there. Otherwise, you'll notice. Even if it's a tiny bit off, you'll notice. Yeah, see, look at it. I was way off. All right, and then now his head, you know, he's not going to be looking at you like this. He's not going to be staring you down. Boy, he's going to be like dancing, and he's probably going to be checking out his feet, because he's proud. He's a good dancer. Like he's been he's been doing these TikTok moves in the dance in the mirror. He wants to get to the club and like impress you guys. So he's going to be looking down, checking himself out, and then right there, maybe look out. And the head is a weird one. You'll have to just play with it to see what I mean. But like as soon as you move it laterally, it gets all funky. Um, so just tiny movements is good. Don't ever touch this. Don't ever touch this. There's you never want to touch it. I've used it before thinking, oh, I want to get them to look up or back. And I've gone in my emo as like a spine sticking out the back of it. So I never mess with the neck. If I do, I'm like super cautious. All right. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, I see his head. It does this little lock, like boop. That means my frames just aren't they aren't lining up. So I'm gonna hit the head, and I can see I've got a frame missing. As people probably say about me in the real world. She's got one frame missing. All right, I mean they're not wrong, but all right. Yeah, there we go. Do 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 do. Okay, there's still something uh off about his hips because like your hips aren't just going to stay in the same place, but I have to look at it and see where should they be moving. Okay, like if he's doing that, I think the hip would go a little bit to the left and then come back to center, and then let's see if that messed it up. Yeah, it looks more normal. And then I could even oops. I hate clicking anything. If I click anything, I try to undo it because I don't know what all this stuff does. Sometimes I've clicked it and it like kills the emote. All right, so I'm gonna move it, excuse me, tiny bit back, and then I think I should move it. I should change the angle. So one thing I try to do a lot is look at it from the side. Like he has a stiff like rod up his back because we haven't moved him. We haven't made him like lean forward or anything. And I think actually I'll move that in a second. What I want to show you, and we're at an hour. So like this is how much we've gotten in an hour with me doing a lot of talking at the beginning, which is pretty cool. Um, let's mess with these fingers because that's another place that I think you can get a lot of fluidity or like movement is the fingers. But watch out because these fingers, um, in my honest opinion, you have like one chance to get them, and that's before you start messing with them. I want to select all the fingers. I don't even care about the thumb. The thumb is not as important, but I don't want to get the wrist in there, so I want to get all of these guys. Now, if I try to move them, you'll notice that they go, they'll, computer, hold on. It seems like I lag for a second. And then, oh, okay. So they close, but you can see they're getting like skewed to the side. Once you start messing with this, it's hard to come back later in the emote. So I try to like think way ahead of time. What am I going to do with these hands way down at the end of the emote? Because it's so much easier just to do the open and close. Actually, like I should have done it at the beginning when they were just sitting here. Um, but for now, it's okay. You'll just see it once you start tweaking it. The more you mess with the hand, the harder it is to get it back to what it was supposed to be. But he's kind of clenched his fist. You can see from like the beginning. Yeah, that looks natural. He'd have his hand, like that. And then I got to open it up before the end of the emote. And here's something to consider. Like we have been making a keyframe every 15 frames, and then all of the movement is between that. But when you don't put a keyframe in, this is extremely, extremely, extremely important. It is going to, instead of taking the movement from like frame 15 to frame 30, now it's going to slow that action all the way out. So it's going to be moving this whole time. So if you watch this, he's slowly moving. You can't really see it very slowly because it's not a lot, but he's slowly moving this. So that's, I think, what makes really like natural movement, because humans are not like beep, like he is right now, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like we don't, unless it's a TikTok dance, like the one that I made, like the first sip, where she's very specific, or the new one that I made with the laser eyes. Like that was a dance where it's like pop, 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 pop. Yes, I watch Dance Moms, you guys. This dancer's on the top of the pyramid. Like, uh, it helps a lot. But like, our motions should be fluid, unless it's a dance like that you have like really specific actions that you're popping into place. It shouldn't be like this. That you can tell this is still super jerky. Like they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So having a motion that kind of lasts a little bit longer can help that. I could also go in here and like, if I want to make this elbow motion smoother, I can click on this, X, delete it, and now at least that arm, it's going to start looking a little smoother. I think if I took out, well, I think that it gets to, and it kind of like stops. So let's say I took this one out also. Yeah, see that. It's this last, that one, that frame right there where it looks stiff, but that's okay. All right. So we are at an hour. We got an emote, but now I want to show you the magic of like, I got this far. It's really short. How many seconds is it? Like 1, 2, 3. It's 3 seconds long. I have 10 seconds total. So let's just now, because we got that, jump ahead. Let's make our emote 300, 300 frames long. And I'm going to highlight all of this, all of these good guys. And I'm not even going to like mark it. I'm just going to grab them all. If you highlight, you can grab all of these. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to eyeball it. So 60 plus 15. Let's hopefully I can do the math right. 75, and I paste. Same thing. 135, 145, 150. And I want to make sure I'm not repasting those. I'm clicking right here where I want them, and I paste. And I go 210, 220, 225. And I paste. Okay, I'm gonna be super easy, so much easier if I zoomed in. And then I'm gonna find out where is the last frame, 285. I'm actually gonna leave that so we can just see that together. Now, guess what? I have. Wait, I don't have a long one. Okay. I see what I did. This is good. See how there's a pause? Because I'm an idiot. There we go. I just needed to match those up. I didn't, yeah, like, I'll show you in a second. All right. So these, see how there's no movement? Because they're all the same. Like, I just matched them up in the wrong spot. Right there. Go find where there's no movement. And I'm grabbing all of these and moving them at the same time. And I have the whole body highlighted. Really important. I do not want to just grab parts of the emote. Like if I did this and only had the elbows grabbed and I started messing with it, I'd be crying. I'd quit emotes for like another year and then leave and rage quit because that would just mess up so much. So now you can see it's a real emote. Like it's dunk, 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 like long. But then it stops. So what? Why? Because we've got extra gaps. Can we fill it with these guys? Can we make it a little bit longer? Paste. Yeah, we can. Look at that. Right there at the end. Okay, so there shouldn't be any gaps now. And this is where, like, making emotes it can be so quick. If I just use this simple way of doing it, of getting like a little dance done. And now I got the whole thing. Although it's kind of like wonky, right? Because you don't want to just see him dancing like this the whole time. So now comes the fun part where you can be like, all right, well, this side, let's he's getting into it. Like, let's give his leg like way more reach, right? On this one. And I'm gonna move it back. But then that means like if his leg is doing that, then his arm has to counterbalance him, right? Like, and then, sorry, this screen. That comes out, and then I'd even probably say his fingers should open. I get them all. Okay. See if I can do his fingers open without being all weird. The problem is like when you start messing with it, the digits get all screwed up. But there. All right. His hand is open. I actually didn't get this little pinky digit, which is fine. Oh, look at that. That ain't. Oh, bro. You better go to the doctor. Okay. There. You're good. We got you patched up. We don't want you hurting. And actually, I would like to move the wrist, but since we haven't done much with the wrist, it's going to be, there is actually a keyframe because I copied that first keyframe. So I want the wrist. Sometimes you have to add a keyframe of be like, yeah, his wrist is normal, and now I want it to like go up right here, and then right back to normal. Because if you don't tell it to go right back to like a normal, it's weird. position, it won't. All right, so that's good, but let's see. This part where he's really, really reaching, this arm probably has to come in. And then let's make, oops, that might clip. So let's make his head. He's really proud of this one, so he's going to be looking like that. All right, so now let's go back to the emote. So this is what I mean by now, like I've got to watch the whole emote go through to see this moment right there. Okay. And see how the head did that fast. Boop, boop, boop. Yes, I do sound effects. Um, that happens when there's two frames super close together because it's like it's got the head has to cover all that distance in a short time. So I'm just gonna like take this one, exit out of there, and then you won't have that. So anytime there's like really quick motion between them, that's probably what it is. So now he's going along. Um, and what I would do, like I probably won't finish it here just because I like keeping it kind of short. I'll just go through and like make changes as I see fit. Like I'll be like, okay, at this point, like this leg is going to be back, right? And gotta grab that knee also. And then at this point, maybe he like kicks up, knee. You just make it, oops, see, look at that. I can see two little frames down here. I know that's gonna get messed up. So this is what happens like sometimes if you're zoomed out, you think you're on it, and then when you zoom up, you realize you're not. So I could delete this, but I can also just take this and drag it right there on top and it'll override. Let's see. Oh, but look at that. Look at, oh, what happened? Boom. I know that there's another keyframe there, but I can't see it because I'm only on the knee. So I have to think, what else did I move? I moved the foot. So if I look at the foot, I gotta move that one too. So if you see some kind of weird movement and you're like, I don't know what it is, just make sure that you've got your keyframes highlighted because it's probably just a hidden keyframe. All right, so there we go. To be honest, I could spend hours fine tweaking all of this. Like it takes a long time. And I do it while I watch movies. Like I just love this. I just get in the zone. Um yeah, like it's definitely where I can just like lose myself. It's just getting into these tiny, tiny movements. I would probably make some more torso movements to make his body like more natural. But for now, this is good. Like we did an emote, a dancing emote in under an hour. And I want to show you one more thing is like how to actually get it out of here and publish it because that is the other thing. You can't just like, I will save this. I'll save it as CBD slide. Oh, I didn't tell you. Save, save, save. Pretend you're back in college and you're writing that essay that you submit and you didn't save at midnight and it gets deleted and you have to do it over, start over at midnight. Yes, I did that. So save all the time or save in different versions because sometimes I'll like last week I saved and I like saved a shitty mistake and then I was like, how do I go back and fix it? And I had to go redo the whole emote because I saved uh I saved a mistake in it. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, CBD slide 1, CBD slide 2. I'm like, yeah. All right, looking at this right here, I can actually see a keyframe right there. And generally, I would never have them that close together. So I feel like there's something right here that is bad. And I don't even know what it is. So I'm just going to like take it there. And yeah. All right. So I can look at my keyframes. They look pretty good. I am looking at my emote. It looks pretty good. I'm going to go fix this after the class is over, but for now, it's good. So to export it, I make sure I save it. And then what I'm going to do, I need to tell it what I want. Um, Mr. Avatar, he does not get exported with the emote. We don't want, here, like, we don't want this head, right? You have an avatar head. You don't want his. We don't want that. We want the motion. So that's kind of like, I don't know how I how I look at it. Um, so if you get into this other screen and you're like, oh, but I want to be in pose mode, just click on this if you're in object mode and then go back to pose mode. It takes a little bit of time to realize like, what did I do? But just always go back to pose mode. And so we got to get rid of Mr. Avatar. For me, it's this avatar, no, shape B. So I want to hide that. I don't want the avatar. Um, the bones are there. They weren't there in the old file, but they are in this one, so I'll leave it. So I'm going to highlight everything because I want every like joint to be attached. Then down here, this is extremely important. If I export this right now, the way it looks, it's not going to do anything, but that random frame that I just happened to have highlighted because it was the last thing that we did, and I want to have all of it. So I'm going to hover over this, and I'm just going to hit A, and that's going to select all of these keyframes. So I want all of the rig, all of the keyframes, and usually I go and I save it again. Just, I don't know, just like my habit. But that is not enough. In order to get it out of Blender and into Decentraland, we have to export it. And so you're learning like bigger Blender skills here that eventually are going to help you if you're getting into building. So you're going to go over to File, Export, and export as a GLB. And now what you want to do, like Issa likes doing visible objects. For this one, I'm just going to do selected objects. And then, I don't know if you have to do this one for emotes that don't have 2.0, but I believe it might just be 2.0. But go down to Data, and then Armature, and Export Deformation. So those are the export settings that you have to do. If you don't do those, nothing's gonna happen. And you kind of know if you did it like right because now your avatar frame is gonna be like this. It's gonna be orange. And now I can go into Decentraland. I can go into Create. I'm just gonna make sure that the stream is catching up, which I think it is. Just give it a second. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay, so now I want to publish wearables and emotes. I'm going to go into a new collection, create collection. You could do linked wearables, wearables, or emotes. I'm going to create this, and this is really important. Don't put like I used to put in a test name, like literally I put down laying down test, and I was just going to test the emote. And then I didn't realize I didn't change it, and I published it. So the one of the cute laying down emotes, it's literally called laying down test. So make sure that you are either smart enough to change it later or just don't do that. So I'm gonna do CBD slide. Yeah, don't do what I did. Now I'm gonna find out emote. Avatar. Oh my gosh. Emote avatar. CBD slide. All right. So emote avatar. Don't mind my organization system. Oh, okay. Avatar and prop animations are not the same length. Oh, are you kidding me? I don't have a prop. Okay, that went away. Ooh, okay. I don't have a prop in this, so that's a bad thing. They should not be doing. Um, okay, let's see. So this is different. This is new. Because what it's saying is that my prop length is not the same as my avatar. And we didn't that is something for emote 2.0, not not this. So it should not be giving us that because I didn't add a prop. Um, but what I'm thinking, because this new avatar rig does have the prop bone attached, that somehow it's like reading information from that. Um, hmm. Let's try that again. CD slide. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that should not be happening because adding a prop is totally different. All right, so just to like give a little bit of input, it's super helpful that Issa made a new rig that has like all of the stuff built in if you want to do 2.0, but I think that might be what it's getting information from because normally you would have like had to add the prop on your own in the past. Um, you can see I have 300 keyframes right here. So that is where it should be, but no prop. Hmm. I do have two starting poses, which is weird. Let's delete that one. See. Okay, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I'm going to do that. That may, let's see, may fix it. Maybe not. Two emote 2.0 is like way more complicated, which is why I don't want to go into that. Like Issa is the person to teach you. So I did not. It didn't work. Okay. What is it? What is it? What is it? Avatar prop. So this is the prop. This is the, maybe what I'll do is totally, oh gosh, it's got keyframes attached to it. It should not. Let's see. Um, object mode. So I'm gonna X. I'm gonna delete that. I think somehow that is that right there that I just deleted. That is the spawn point for emote 2.0. Like that's where you attach them to. Um, and I don't want this to be getting like information from that. See how this is weird that it's got keyframes there. Armature, but they only go to there. Usually it's like super easy. So I will try one more thing, and then if that doesn't work, I will just show you how to do it with a different one. But this is what I mean by like emote. You if you want to publish emotes, you gotta really want to publish them because they are so frustrating. All right, let's see. I don't even know what those are. Those are weird. Armature. Okay, I totally want to delete that, but no. I will try exporting it first. Also, like if it doesn't work the first time, try exporting it a few times because sometimes I have to close down Blender and then do it again. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. If I delete that, is it going to destroy everything? Or is it going to be okay? There's also like all of these things are really important. Like this what I'm doing right here with the action editor, making my making all of my like frames show up. See how my frames are going. This is the kind of stuff that I start like thinking, I need to call Isa. Poor Isa. All right, so let's highlight those. Export. I'm gonna try two more things. If this doesn't work, and the nice thing is like it either works or it doesn't. Yep, so that didn't. Um, I am gonna undo this export information. Let's do that. So in the past, I used the old avatar rig. Yeah, didn't work. Okay, so I am gonna. That is a call to Issa. I'm gonna have to like figure out what I'm doing. Somehow it thinks that there's an object here. It thinks that there's the prop that has the armature that like if I had a tennis racket in its hand and I don't. So what I will do instead is show you on oh, do I want to save it? Yes, I do. All right. So this is a different emote. I'm going to publish really soon. Eh, Um, and let's see if she will export. Lots and lots of keyframes. Export. Yeah. So let's do that. Okay, so she worked. Whatever it was, like if you can get to this screen, your money. If you can see your avatar and like this is the most rewarding screen in the world when you can see your emote like 2.0 with your prop right here. This means that you did it. You like literally it's a sigh of relief because I've gone in and found like my avatar all scrunched up on the floor before or it's standing in the default pose. Like if you can get this far, it's gonna work. Like that's the nice thing. It's either a yes or a no. There's no like maybe. So this is a different emote than what we had. The like you'll get the idea. This is where, sorry, I'm moving fast and not explaining myself. So this is where you get to choose if you want it, unique, if you want it mythic, whatever you want. If it's a dance, that one you can, change later. This is the really important one. Don't play it once. Like literally, people go back and fix your emotes if you have it not looped because there's people that will not buy it if it doesn't loop because I don't want to, we just don't want to sit there all day and be doing that. And then this is where you can make the thumbnail for your emote. You can figure out like, all right, what's the cutest for this one? I think that is cute. You can move it up or down because you can get different angles. I think it's really important if people make theirs like find the position that really captures your emote because if I just have it like I don't know like that and then somebody has 100 emotes and they're trying to find yours and there's nothing really like signature. I'd say find your signature move like that, or something. Find that one position that's like, oh yeah, people will understand. Like they'll get what my emote's about. They'll remember this one. You can change these later. Like you don't have to get it all done right there. And then here is where you can actually see your emote. Um, I would say try it out with different clothes on these avatars. You can click this, you can go male, female. Obviously, the female is going to have the chest. And so if you have like an avatar that's touching their bodice, like you want to make sure that the hands don't clip through the chest area. You want to make sure that like it doesn't clip in a way that they're going to, tell you can't do it. I don't think the female avatar has like a hip. I don't think they're too hippie that would get in the way of that. Um, okay, so then your description, utility. This is like smart wearables, like if it actually had utility in world. I just add something silly, something funny, because it doesn't really matter. And then tags, I add my name, like Canessa, emo, just so that somebody can look it up, sometimes. So I'll just be like gobbledygook, gobbledygook, save. All right. And then there it is. Now, the other thing you're going to look for, especially if you're doing emote 2.0, it gives this cylinder. So that's really important so that your emote doesn't go out. Like the props should not go out. Um, on emote 2.0, the the hips technically should be inside this. So if your prop is outside, that's kind of okay, but your hips should stay inside. Um, Tell you what, that is up to personal discretion of each curator. Some of them will let it go, some of them will not. So it's kind of like depends on who you get. Um, okay, and then that's it. You've got your emote. I'm gonna take you as far as I can on this. You go to publish collection, CVD slide. Actually, I could publish this right now, but I kind of don't want to. Don't mess this up. You have to get it right. Do not use copyrighted stuff. I think everybody kind of knows, like, if the person that tried to make the Star Wars helmet, the Stormtrooper helmet, and I think they even had like Star Wars Stormtrooper in this name. Well, unless you have permission from Lucasfilms, which I'm guessing most of us don't have that kind of permission, don't use something copyrighted here because they won't publish your wearable, and then you have that in your name. This cannot be changed right here. Once you start confirming this stuff, it can't be changed. This I could still change right here. Boom, 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 boom. That I add my email. I can go one step further. But beyond that, like, those are the important parts. It's ready to submit. Once you publish your collection, it'll go to the forum. And then on the forum, right here, this is where you can see all of the wearables. I had a different emote that I published yesterday. It's not working, and so I'm in here trying to get it fixed. Once your emote goes to the forum, it'll get picked up by a reviewer, and they will look at it and then tell you if it works or not. So, like, yesterday, I uploaded this, and then I looked at it and I realized, oh, I can't do this. It's out of bounds. And so I tried to like post a new version of it, and it wouldn't let me. And then I realized there was some kind of bug, and the curators are still, the foundation's trying to help me figure this out. So right after this, I'm going to go try to mess with that. But they are going to look at your collection. If it's approved, it's just going to be ready to go. And then you can go back and you can like set it up for sale. So let's see. I will look at this one because this one is ready to go. Haven't put it up for sale yet, but once I'm ready, I can do this, set my price. I can make myself the beneficiary, and then this expiration date is really interesting. So it's actually all of these are going to expire next year, and I don't know if people are going to remember to go like mess with their emotes and redo them, but that is it. Like if it wasn't for that one little prop issue, our emote would be ready to go. It would be cute. Let's see, CD slide, save. Um, so hopefully that's helpful. I think like there's a lot to it. Emotes are super frustrating. Like if I didn't absolutely love animating and like I don't know, like it's just something I love doing. I can't even find the dope sheet. Where is it? Timeline editor. Right. See, I can't timeline. There we go. Now I can hit play. Okay, so if I didn't completely love this, I would have quit a long time ago because I have rage quit making emotes. Anytime there's like a gap in my emote making, it's because I probably can't figure it out, or I've been like so traumatized by them that I'm like, I just gotta step away. But hopefully this will help you. I think just get in there, start playing around, and then remember, keep in mind, like whatever you're doing with emotes in Blender, it's gonna help you so much when you go to building. Like if you're not a builder yet and you're not sure where to start, like just if you can do this, all of these things that you're learning, you don't have to relearn them later. You're gonna just be like, oh, this is like emotes. Like especially when you get into animating like buildings in Blender, you're gonna be like, oh, that's easy. Like it's way harder to make it's way harder to make an emote. So some of this it's like actually gonna save you and teach you how to build better later on. Okay, so I am gonna jump over to Decentraland and yeah, there we go. Hopefully that has been helpful. I haven't seen if there's any questions while we've been going. So if anybody has questions, now's a good time. I see Fred and Jay have just collapsed and they are face down. So I should do my emote too and do that. Um, I'm going to put my other emote on, the newest one that I made that I haven't released it yet. I'm like so proud of it. Where is it? Newest. Ah, here. Okay. So this one was like so so challenging for me to do, and I'm so proud of myself that I could do it. Like I know sometimes it doesn't seem like I don't know. It's like sometimes you're just really proud of yourself, and I'm this one I had to learn how to parent I had to make the headset and then I had to parent it to the bone in the head. And then I had to do all of these really intricate moves that I wanted to make the laser hands work with the face so that you'd have these together. So like that part there where she puts her hands above her head and the avatar looks down. I wanted those lasers to look, like both ways. And this one especially because I made the wearable and I parented each laser to a finger. I really had to know what each finger was doing on the avatar. Like this was such a good way to learn finger placement because you're going to know exactly where those fingers are pointing because the lasers are going out from them. Um, and it showed me actually like these lasers show me how many like I don't know, like I call them dead thumbs because they're just like thumbs that don't Hi Fred. They're thumbs that don't they like the thumb just goes along for the ride. Like a lot of times I don't even think about what I am doing to animate it. So you can see like in different emotes. It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of like it's just what it is. Like the thumb we just kind of forget about the thumb quite a bit. Um, and so yeah, this is a cool one. You can really like these finger lasers. Actually, well, that one there's like three fingers. These finger lasers are great for seeing where people have placed the fingers in the emote because they're gonna point, right? Like exactly where that finger is going. So if you want to like break down other people's emotes a little bit, um, I don't know. To me, like those are just a good way to do it. So yeah, that is probably it. I will mess with that emote a little bit. Maybe put a call into Issa, although I bug her so much. I love you, Issa. You're so nice. You know you know what I'm talking about. Um yeah, let me write in chat. Questions. I really think everybody should try emotes. Like they just open a whole new world for Decentraland that you can do. Like when you really start digging into it, there's so many emotes I want to do, or like so many emotes that you could do with a wearable, like emote wearable combination. Kind of like this one. This is like the first time I've tried to do that. But if anybody gets stuck and they're like, I don't know, how to get further, um, I want to say call Issa, but don't know. I'll try my best to help you. Although Issa is just Issa is the best. I really wish I could show you how to do an emote 2.0, but like I gotta make sure that I know, like, I gotta get better at them. I can make them, but the most frustrating part has been for me, like, I made the hula hoop. Um, I don't think I have that one loaded. I made the hula hoop. That was my first emo. I made that one 4 times because I stupidly like was excited. I was like, I know how to like I can animate. I know how to do this. And I went in and I like totally animated the hula hoop and it looked so good. And then Issa's like, no, you can't just animate the object. You have to animate the rig, like the armature that goes with it. So then I had to go in and do it again, and then there's still something wrong with it. And so this one I literally made 4 times before I finally had it, and it's okay. Oh, but then the frustrating part, like, I think I made a few more emotes, but then I didn't for a while, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. Like I don't know, like the documentation, the rigging. I struggle so bad. Issa's so patient with me. She's really because she's gone over it on video. I should know how to do it, and here's Rastan. Like, yeah, it's it is hard. My goal is to get so much better at making emotes with like multiple props. Because if it was like stop motion and rig, I know exactly how I could do it. But with these guys, it's different. So there we go. I hope that was helpful. Um, if you guys make a emote, please tell me. I want to see somebody like making some emotes. Otherwise, yeah, awesome day. Make sure you grab your OP. It's not going to be available like for too long, and then I'm gonna send the emotes out to the people that have those first. So as soon as I get the CBD slide finished, I'm gonna send that out to you. So kind of a little reward for coming and grabbing that OP. Um, but otherwise, I think we're done. And let's see, have a good music fest. Oh, you're welcome, Jay. Um, hope it didn't go too slow or too fast or anything in between. And I'm gonna hop off, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.